Hi everyone, this is Devlog 4 for my Dungeon Crawler RPG, and this week I'm bringing a lot of changes to the battle system. So quickly I'll just get into a battle. Right, so the first thing we see is that I have an animated sprite in here. I just started trying to block out an animation for like a wizard, just kind of get the general shape. So this is a work in progress. I just wanted to see what would an idle animation look like in my game. So I plopped them in there. And the next thing that I would like to show off is summons. So this was kind of a major mechanic I had in mind for certain types of spells. So if we look at the healer's spell menu here, you can see I put in spells called Summon Snake and Summon Sheep. Now right now on the party side, if I do summon one of them, I just have a little indicator under their stat box that shows what they have, and I've marked it to have right now 6 slots. But if we let it pass to the enemy's turn, we should get, or the bat summons a snake. Now, they will go away if I kill this, but I call it necromancer there, summon the sheep. Now, the snake, I kind of blocked out the shape of a little sprite there. The sheep was really lazy, but the idea is certain spells will be able to summon creatures that are smaller than a party member or an actual enemy, but they have an effect. And right now, at the beginning of the turn, they would have sort of a cumulative effect. And the reason I chose a snake and a sheep is because I also wanted to use them to test out status effects. So if I keep going there, the snake should attempt to poison based on the number of snakes you have, and the sheep should attempt to put you to sleep. So let me see right here. I think at the beginning of their turn, it'll say one snake tried to poison, and oh, it put me to sleep, and the sheep goes first. And the snakes attempted to poison. Was he dead before? That might be a bug, but anyway, yeah, so you can see I also added a little blue indicator for sleep. I will design an icon for that. There's a little purple indicator if I was poisoned, and you can see that because the protagonist is asleep, that he is marked used. He can't do anything like from tapping enter. He's not going into his menu because he won't be used. Now that'll be more visually clear, but I'm just working on like mechanics and making everything actually work physically, but oh, you know what? The snake, it wasn't a bug. It was my snake. Um, yeah. Perfect. So you see that what I'm kind of going for here. And I chose these minions because I was like, well, I'm going to motivate myself to start working on some status effects. So I'll have minions that do status effects, but they can do all sorts of different things. And yeah, for enemy types, like to sort of evoke what they do, I was thinking, okay, so I got a sheep that puts people to sleep. Maybe I'll have an enemy that's like a shepherd that has that sheep summoning ability, and maybe they're not so good. Maybe all he does is really like passively try to put people to sleep with his sheep. But maybe he has an ability that makes it so that your minions don't run away at the end of battle or are less likely to. And then when you fuse them together with somebody else, and I don't have a fusion mechanic yet, but I think I've talked about it. You would take that ability, fuse it with another one that maybe summons a stronger minion, and it would have these combinations that could be very powerful, like a minion that you really don't want to run away because it's strong, and you can combine them that way. I'm thinking of maybe having a spell that would fit like a druid type that would maybe summon a snake, a sheep, and something else. Like just instead of having the consistency between the status effects you're trying to do, it would be value that you're getting out of it, and it would give you that 3 different types of animals, or maybe 3 out of a set of 3 out of a bunch of options. And yeah, I think there's a lot of potential with having minions. They're really, my thought process behind them is having units that are smaller than a party member or smaller than a typical enemy, sort of like when you summon tokens in Magic the Gathering, like a bunch of creatures, small creatures that don't do a lot, but cumulatively they might do something for you. And it's kind of my way of addressing an issue I have in a lot of RPGs, is that status effects aren't often all that worth using. They're usually not very good, and I thought maybe if it's something you have to invest many turns in accumulating a higher chance of poisoning or putting to sleep, I could maybe design a way to justify allowing the player to try to use these status effects against a boss, which is, I think, where it falls apart in a lot of RPGs. They don't let you use that against a boss. You can't just put a boss to sleep. But if it's hard to do, hard to get over a certain threshold, you can justify allowing a player to put a boss to sleep. Why not? And I think that allows me to allow certain playstyles to be more viable, and it allows more player freedom. I'll show quickly a few changes I made to the pause menu. I put the battle clock up here, so let's say if I cure, well, nobody needs healing, but if I use it, that time cost that would happen in battle is happening on screen right now. So I have that idea of maybe certain spells take a long time to cast even outside of battle, and it could put you at a disadvantage when you get back into battle. The other thing is there's a summary button here. It doesn't do a lot. I just block out mechanics so that there's functions that call up like show the stat screen. And I'm not designing it right now, but that will already be in. I do a lot of things that way. If I get into another battle, I'll show how I've changed recruiting. So I'll skip ahead to when I see it. Right, so now we can see that if you get a chance to recruit, before I had it where it just automatically put it in your party, but now I'm offering the choice. It's just a temporary menu, but that's just kind of nice to show. And I'll say yes, and we can see that the bat is in the party. So if we go over here to the summary, that's bat level 1. Cool. The other thing I wanted to draw attention to is that obviously with the bat here summoning a snake, and I think you may have already seen the demon casting a fireball, I have added in enemies casting skills. They cast the same version of skill that you cast, except it's from their side. So a basic version of enemy AI is in, and it took a lot of, I've been adding a lot of like helper functions that there's different things you want to target when you're trying to figure out like what the logic and the rules behind an enemy AI. So like say a function that finds the party member with the lowest HP, a function that finds a random party member, one that finds a party member that has the lowest MP, or one that's not poisoned yet so that they don't try to poison somebody who's already poisoned. You write all these targeting functions. I have each enemy having a set of rules that follow to say what type of spell they're going to cast, if they can cast it, to check if they have enough MP, to check if they have enough time. I think it's going to be more complicated to figure out, like, well, should I cast a healing spell? Is there anybody on my side that doesn't have enough health? Is it worth doing that? Should I use some more utility spell that might be more situational? It'll require specific rules, but basically enemies can now cast spells. I figured that out at a basic level anyway. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'll be back next week with another devlog. Thank you.